Hi, my name is Jeff Karamaris, and this is Rainbow River Medical. This is Chantel DeBezier, my office manager. We're going to be talking a lot about the coronavirus and as far as testing and results go today. We have been testing for about 3.5 weeks now. At this point, we have had 11 confirmed positive, and we have had actually one patient pass away at this point, whose results are still pending. This is a very serious virus. It's not something that anyone in this country has ever experienced before. Like I said, we started testing about 3.5 weeks ago, and there has been considerable changes to the idea of who should be tested. Initially, it was based upon travel and only travel. After that, it was based upon fever and only fever. And then as time has gone on, we've determined that there is a wide multitude of different experiences that people can have with this.
If I'm not mistaken, in the beginning they said absolutely no stomach issues involved, and now they've totally changed that.
Right, we're seeing about 10% of the patients that have come back positive with us, as well as from some of the literature that we've looked at, that are having GI issues. Like I said, we've been here 3.5 weeks. We've had many positives, at least in my opinion. Thankfully, the positives that we've had are doing very well at this point and have not been hospitalized. My message that we would really like to get out to the community is just please keep the social distancing as best as possible. Use common sense. If you have not been tested, there is also considerable differences on who should be tested and who shouldn't be tested at this point. My recommendation is for everybody to be tested. We have spoken with different leaders within the county government systems who have also said if you have the capability, which we do, to test everybody, that would be their recommendation as well.
In the beginning, there was a shortage on test kits. Through our resources and supplies that we've had, there is no shortage. We can test every resident here. It's a personal opinion whether people should be tested or not. I don't want to see people putting others down for getting tested. We have children at home.
That's right.
We have children that have health issues. We test ourselves.
We do.
Because we don't want to take it home to those family members.
Just not to go into too much detail and break any laws, I did have one of my positives that we tested just based upon the fact that they had traveled out of the country. They had no symptoms. They were positive. They were a carrier at this point, and they could have shared that with the other members of their household had they not immediately quarantined themselves when they got back to the United States here.
I think this personally reaches us because one thing Jeff and I have in common is we both have brothers that are positive for coronavirus, not here in Florida. They got it in other states. And to me, it really hits home.
Yeah. It shows you just how close this can be to any family. And neither one of those received it from us,
right.
By the way.
They're all the way on the other side of the U.S., 3,000 miles away.
That's right. There's been a lot of talk about testing for everyone and it being covered for everyone in the media. Different politicians have put it out there that testing will be available for every American. For those who have insurance, the insurance companies appear to be covering it 100%, which is a phenomenal thing, and we're very thankful to the different insurance companies for that. For those without any insurance, it has been a considerable hurdle. Initially, finding a lab that would take testing from uninsured patients proved to be very difficult for us. We've spoken with probably 6 or 7 different laboratories now. Initially, we were able to work out a price where we had to collect money from uninsured patients in order to pay for their tests. Not for us to make any money off of it, because that's not what this is about. This is about helping our community. And now, though, fortunately, starting today, we have been able to test uninsured patients without them having to pull any money out of pocket. The labs have agreed finally to directly billing the patients and handling it from there. There's still a lot of uncertainty as to how that coverage is going to work for uninsured Americans, but
We're not here to make money off of it. We're here to help people. We personally believe everybody should be able to drive up and get tested, no matter what. We've never turned anyone away.
no.
And because of that, now we don't want to be the middleman and the bad guy.
Right.
It is what it is, but we can't afford to pay for it out of pocket, so we hunted until we found somebody willing to risk not being paid to let us test the uninsured.
So there's no question for you. There's no charge from your office.
Absolutely not.
Zero charge.
We've had people coming in that haven't seen a doctor in years, and we get zero. But he has sent their medications to help them with other things other than COVID. We have never, ever turned anyone away from our office for medical help.
That's right.
We want to make sure that every patient that needs testing, needs treatment, that they receive the testing that they need and the treatment that they need.
It's just, and it's not like you see on TV. We've had people pull up here, and then I go to swab them and they start crying.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
I've had doctors call me and argue with me that the way I'm doing this sample is not the right way.
Right.
Well, that's funny because the labs have called us and says, what the heck is going on in your county? You've gotten the most positives out of anyone because of the way you're taking them. Now those same labs are sending out videos to take oral swabs.
Initially, they were doing nasal swabs, which
Are painful.
are very painful, uncomfortable, a lot more uncomfortable than the oral swabs, and you don't get as nearly good of a sample through doing a nasopharyngeal swab as you do doing an oral swab.
It's a little bit of common sense, I believe. Goes down, comes up. Get it right where it is.
I gotta admit, I was a little worried about doing testing because I don't want anything up my nose, and I hate to say that you might get a little bit busier because that one fact.
Do you want me to
May
show
help.
them how we're swabbed? Do you want me to swab you?
We can do that, absolutely.
You can swab me.
It's
You
not
want
like
me
I
to
haven't been
swab
swabbed
you?
before.
I'll go get a
All
swab.
right, we'll put a pause on this and we'll do this live.
Okay.
We're not going to put it up the nose. I'm going to have you open your mouth, stick your tongue out towards me. That's it.
What?
Very simple.
And guess what, buddy? You're tested.
We'll find out what happens.
Many of you wonder why we wear full respirators, face shields. Well, there's a good reason. N95 masks only cover 95% of the viruses, whereas this covers a lot more. The mask, because the virus can actually enter into the pores of your eyes. And when we swab people, we get a lot of spit on our masks. We're very careful. These hazmat suits are actually changed out daily with new ones. We change our gloves. The pens that we give people to fill out papers.
Yeah, we don't take the pens back.
We don't take them back. That's their parting gift. They can keep them.
Absolutely.
All the clipboards are actually sanitized after every patient. They're all new forms.
Yes. Everything is so that there's the least risk of contamination to a patient.
And as far as our normal patients, we're still seeing them in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
We refuse to expose them. Let's say Jane Doe came in and she is asymptomatic. We don't know she's sick. She touches that chair. Somebody else can come in and get in that chair and end up with coronavirus. So in order to protect our normal patients, we will see them in their own vehicle. We've done actually quite a bit of stuff out there.
We have. I mean, the greatest response or the most common response is thank you. We're glad that you guys are doing it this way and not putting off your regular patients in spite of this pandemic.
And even our normal patients, they question about having to call so much and get through on the phone lines. We have 3 phone lines here. We have 3 people answering those phone lines.
I was kind of surprised. I called to set this up.
Yes.
And I got through. Then I called to come over here. I was like, wow. And then I realized you have more staff now answering phones
Yes.
than if it was regular business hours, and I'm sure, like with most hospitals, there's less people now going to doctors and hospitals that.
Oh, there's quite a bit of offices that have been shut down or
Yes.
closed temporarily because an employee tested positive at one of them, or just for their own reasons. And we've seen quite a few additional new patients just because of that, or temporary patients just because of that, since they still need care, but their PCP is not available to treat them at this point.
Right. We've had urgent care out in the driveway.
Right.
We've had people that we've had to send out to the hospital.
Yes.
Nothing changed day to day except for instead of them getting out of the safety of their own vehicle that they know what germs are in there, we go out there to them.
Right.
Our value is we're here for our patients.
That's right.
Well, if we were to bring them in and risk them, we wouldn't be there for our patients.
Right.
We have people answering the phones. Be patient. As far as our not normal patients, the COVID patients,
Right.
there is no reason for them to call and see if we have the results. Jeff, his wife, myself, Carol, we spend all weekend checking for results. Even if they're negative, we're going to call you as soon as they come in. We have been known to call people up until middle of the night.
Yeah. As soon as we find out,
Right.
I mean, most people wouldn't mind waking up to a negative result.
Right.
No, that's true.
And, you know, the reactions are great. We've had people cry out of excitement because they're negative. It might be the rhinovirus, the flu.
Yeah, it could be any number of other
Right.
things that we are looking for as well.
We test the whole respiratory panel. We're not going to just call you up and say, it's nothing. We're going to try and find out what it is.
Yeah, people deserve answers.
Yes.
They really do.
And even the ones that are positive, they still thank us.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, it's been a great
Yeah.
support from our community. But at the same time, there has been great unrest. And I understand tensions are high. Our tensions are high.
Right.
We have a cross out in front of our tent for a reason. Because God put us there to do it for a reason.
That's right.
And He's going to protect us while we do it.
Absolutely. I do want to point out something. I mentioned the numbers earlier about the different positive patients that we've had. To some people, that may sound like a lot of patients having 11. To others, it may not sound like that much. That's 11 people whose lives are pretty much forever changed. 11 families. The fear that they have in them. Am I going to get better? Am I going to get worse? Am I going to wind up like the person that I heard about on the television?
Can't answer that.
And we can't. There's no answers for that. We are there for every single person, whether positive or negative.
I think one of the families we tested that was positive, I believe our whole families were out here. Your wife.
Mm-hmm.
It was late at night that night.
It was.
And why? Because that mother was positive,
Yeah.
who was planning a birthday party for her child the next day.
Right. And they had to change all their plans, but had she not come in and had we not gotten the results when we did, that there could have potentially been another 50 people. I don't know how big the party would have been, but a considerable number of additional people that were exposed unnecessarily. Yeah,
I think all of our positives have a story to tell.
they all do. They all do. Maybe we'll get them all to write a book with us one day.
That would be nice.
That sounds good.
That would be
And-
nice.
Any final thoughts?
If you have to call and ask a question about being tested, don't pick up the phone. Get in your car, come here, get tested.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt to get a negative result.
That's right, and it might give you some reassurance internally, and if you come in contact with somebody that you know that you're not potentially affecting their future and their lives. Really want to thank the people that have supported us out here, all the businesses, all of our patients, all of our community members.
People we
we've
don't
had-
even know.
That's right. We've had people donate money towards the uninsured patients when we were initially having to collect for testing, which again,
I do want to reassure people, if there's a penny left in that after we pay the uninsured, our nonprofit, Rainbow After the Storm, hurricane season's coming, and I heard it's going to be a bad one. We run to the hurricanes also.
Really do want to thank all of the members of the community that have supported us in a number of different ways. We're here for the community. The community's been here for us, which has been just a godsend. So we really, truly want to thank you for that. And we'll keep doing it. We'll keep trying to keep the health of our community as great as we can.
You don't give up on your family, and our community is our family.
That's right.
And your community really is grateful for everything you've done. That's why I'm here. I was touched by some of the Facebook posts, and I'm like, this story has to get out, and we'll make sure that a lot of people are able to see this. And mainly it's people who are in our neighborhood, people who are in our community, because they need to be tested.
They do.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.